Turn this around.
Always good to know more.
That's true. Reverend Michael Juarez.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
The topic this month is awakening, and the theme for today is birth. So pertinent to the theme today, I will tell you a brief scenario involving the empowerment of womanhood, communication, the cycle of life, and specifically to the theme, birth. There is an elderly couple minus one partner. The widow is standing at her husband's coffin, pointing and shaking her finger at the coffin as she speaks. "Hubby," she says, "all those mornings when I was talking and you were sitting at breakfast, hiding behind the newspaper and just grunting, have come to an end. If you think you are going to get away from talking to me, well, you are just mistaken about that, mister, because death is no excuse for not communicating. I am going to use science to empower my womanhood, and like Sarah in the Bible, I will give birth when I am at an elderly age. I will take hormones upon hormones for growth, youth, and birth. And I am withdrawing from the sperm bank your little critters and will sort out and use for artificial insemination only the XX chromosomes because girls like to talk. And you, mister, are going to reincarnate when I give birth to you as only a woman can give birth, and you will be my baby, and we will talk, and there will be no more grunts, because you are coming back as my little baby girl." End of scenario. That is just one aspect of birth. Excuse me. My birth and first awakening and initiation into this world was probably being held by my ankles and swatted on the behind, which may have been a similar greeting for most others. What a rude and alarming awakening it was, and in most cases, probably necessary to activate breath. Hopefully this rude awakening, at the very least, gave us a clean slate for this lifetime. My first spiritual awakening that I am aware of was when I was about 8 years old. I was by myself on the city bus and happy to arrive at my stop. I quickly got off the bus and only thought of getting home. I ran in front of the bus toward the other side of the street, not thinking of any possible danger. When I was at midpoint in front of the bus, an invisible hand pressed against my chest. I could feel the palm, 4 fingers, and a thumb. The hand covered my whole chest with gentle pressure. I stopped dead in my tracks, puzzled that I could not see anyone around me. Just then, a 2-tone white and green Chevy or Ford zoomed by the bus at about 30 miles an hour. I thought better of it and returned to the corner and waited for the bus to leave, giving me a clear view of traffic. On the 1 block walk home, I briefly thought of the incident and thought I better not tell anyone, and never did until maybe 50 years later. Since this incident or birth of a new reality, I would receive ESPN moments about every 8 years, but did not really do anything about them until my brother introduced me to a psychic while I was visiting him in Texas around 1977. When I returned to San Diego, pardon me, I searched San Diego area churches and was surprised to find a subculture of metaphysical minded people. I eventually attached to a spiritual church in National City, a suburb of San Diego, and later a spiritualist church in Normal Heights, another suburb of San Diego. I received the necessary certificates and went through the seminary at this second church, and only had to complete a 6-month time frame of giving service to receive my reverendship certificate. However, after taking care of my mother for 4 years after my retirement, she passed, and I no longer had the desire to stay in San Diego, which surprised me because who would not want to live in San Diego? Her death gave me a birth of a new direction. I had a friend in Tucson and still do, so I came here. In San Diego, from at least a couple of readings at different times from different people, I learned that my friend and I had been friends, or at least acquaintances, in at least 2 prior lifetimes. The information from these 2 readings, I am assuming, came from my Akashic records because I do not remember asking any questions about my friend. In what time I have left, I am happy to share my home with an East Coast energetic type ectoplasmic haunting in human form, a sister whom I always wanted but never had. She and her pups bring me days filled with laughter and amusement, and most importantly, in this lifetime, she guided me to this chapel where I have found the birth of a home presently. Who knows what the future holds in store for me? My point in telling you about this life experience is that each time, each location, each class, each person I encountered was a birth. Each time we think, say something, and act is a birth, a change, and with that change, an opportunity to engage in something wonderful and fruitful or not. Each new day is a renewed birth of change and the opportunity to create and engage oneself with empowerment, standing firm and balanced to encounter the events, activities, and situations of the day. And how do we balance ourselves? We balance ourselves by quietly going within and renewing our awareness of who and what we are with our physical, mental, and spiritual self. This can be done with meditation, Qigong, both available here at the chapel, and Tai Chi as examples. It is appropriate to give renewed birth to this energy within you because each day is a renewed birth of activity, and like anything else, preparation only makes sense to renew and give birth and arm and strengthen yourself with, for example, the 12 powers that you already possess within you. It only makes sense because we use each of these powers in everything we do. We create in everything we think, say, and do in our actions. Let me give you an example as to why preparation is so important to prepare yourself to greet the birth of a new day. I am sure we have all had the experience of making a mess, however big or small that mess was. And then you know what comes next, we have to clean up that mess. That cleanup will come immediately, later, or much later, even in another lifetime. That mess can be insidious to the point that collecting becomes clutter and clutter becomes hoarding. A common example is our closets become full, the garage becomes full, our heads become full, as in our tackling too many things at one time. All these are creations to which we have given birth. So what is the preparation and how does it work? As stated earlier, it is the balance through going within with meditation and the balance of each of the 12 powers as we use each of these 12 powers in everything we think, say, and do. With change that is constant, there is birth of a new now. And with this new now, which is infinitely present with change, there is a renewed opportunity to create in the is that we inhabit. Another example of birth using energy is a friend of mine, Marlene, was asked by a metaphysical store owner to do her thing with some objects in the store that were not selling. I observed Marlene go over to the section of the store where the objects were, and she stood there for a brief time. I was intrigued, so I asked her what she had done. She told me she had put light in and around the objects. In my thinking, she was putting energy in the form of light on the objects to be sold in the metaphysical store. Another example, and I forget whether it was Rama Ramu and or Dr. Beck, that gave the exercise to breathe in a mist of light, and each time the breath is taken, to send it to the pineal gland, medulla oblongata, and the coccyx to energize these areas of the gland, brain, and spine, respectively. With this created energized light in these areas comes growth and development. Light is putting energy in the spot intended. This is being done in the physical world with laser treatments for various parts of the body for a variety of reasons. All of the Akashic records, which I view as a library of recordings of all lifetimes, I think of them as pockets of time and space of lives that are accessed from the energy of the aura. More to the point of this talk, all these lifetimes are the recordings of each physical birth experienced and all the births from change, giving the opportunity to grow and develop. Now, in the conventional sense, a birth is commonly thought of as the event of the completion of physiological gestation. However, in broader terms, it is also the gestation or development of the process of developing plans and the construction of a house. Just like the development and gestation of all the systems necessary for a healthy embryo, during construction, all the systems of a house are built until the final completed product is finished, and there is the birth of a new home for someone or family. School is the gestation of the development of social, psychological, and knowledge of the physical and mental systems, and then the birth of a new journey comes at graduation. Work is the life career of the development of skills. Life is an ongoing development of finances and investments. Relationships are the ongoing development of interactions and group activity involvement, etc. Just like the body, each example grows and develops and matures into your creation, and with each of these is birth. however, not necessarily in the traditional way one might think. Every birth, without exception, is a new opportunity with a relationship with yourself. With change, which is constant, there is opportunity, which is also a constant. With each change and opportunity, there is birth with the development of a relationship with yourself. Just like change and opportunity are constants, so also is birth a constant, and with birth is the constant development with the relationship with yourself, and it is always your creation of self in what you think, say, and do. In other words, your thoughts, words, and actions are the birth of developing your relationship with yourself. In the past, every 8 years, I was aware of receiving a visit from Spirit. Besides an awakening, each time it was also another birth to open my eyes to an expanded awareness of what is. Each visit from Spirit was inviting change with a renewed birth to my consciousness, welcoming an opportunity to explore another aspect of the realm of the is. At first, meaning every 8 years until I was in my early 30s, I was by myself, and in each time was a different experience. After I was introduced to the psychic in Texas and came back to San Diego to find the existence of a metaphysical subculture, I began taking classes, and the spirit visits and experiences became more frequent. Oddly, each time I had a different experience, I did not explore it further in additional classes. However, I also do not remember classes being offered either, and I did not ask. The variety of classes were more of one-time experiences to expose the students to what was, or more appropriately, what was within, to touch what was in the physical world. What we express is the creation of living our perspective of reality in the now, from our growth and development. Perspectives of reality are intriguing. Enthusiastic expression is lively and creatively living one's reality. When we ask who and what we are, it is a new birth in the awakening of our consciousness in the is. This enlightenment of the soul comes in many forms. The frailty of words gives the wisdom of a two-edged sword, and like the yin and the yang, each edge of the sword giving the direction of experience may still bring enlightenment. When the day is done and we sift through all that has been said, communication is complete when we know our truth. Birth is a happy occasion with love and warmth, with hugs and congratulation, when we look with loving eyes at the infant and wonder what his, her life will be like and what this precious bundle of joy will become. Why is not this same feeling felt with the moment of every birth we have, with the experience of our creation, with a renewed relationship with ourselves? Because every moment we breathe is the opportunity to express ourselves in what we think, say, and do, and is an ongoing creation of what and how we develop through the daily, ordinary events of our experiences. This is an example of how precious our moments are, with the opportunity to have a relationship with ourselves. And the most wonderful thing about it is that it is a constant, just like change, the yin and the yang, and opportunity, because it happens every moment of every life we have had, are having now, and will have in the future. It is the unending love that we may have for ourselves, and all we have to do to have this is to accept it, because it is always there for us to have. What I have come to understand is that all there is, of all that there is, how precious is the learning from experience. This leads to knowledge, and with knowledge, an expanded awareness. Sometimes this can come over time, or it can take a whole lifetime, or multiple lifetimes, or may be learned in between lifetimes. Sometimes we don't realize how precious the moments are until they have passed, as in after a crisis has occurred, and we may feel they are gone forever, an opportunity lost. We come here to experience, and a precious gift is growth and development from that experience. I have watched Teresa Caputo and others like her on TV, and have come to understand that communication with lost loved ones helps alleviate the suffering of the living with the loss of loved ones. This is a blessing with love and healing, a gift of a birth for a new consciousness with forgiveness, and with that forgiveness, peace, and with peace, a wonderful and renewed outlook for the beauty in life. With the continued teachings and learning I have received from being at this chapel, I have expanded my knowledge and understanding, and continue to accept the birth of a new day of learning of what is, and am open to navigating my journey of the is each day I draw breath. Thank you and blessings.
Thank you, Reverend Michael.
Hmm.
Any more come in? Who's that? Welcome, Ed. Okay,
Thank you. Good morning.
there's 7 here. I gotta fractionalize my math today. This is a time where we put our love offering together between our hands and give a blessing before we give. And I want to thank the ones on Zoom that already have donated. Thank you very much. As we place between our hands that you have given us the strength and the power to have, we give to the source, to put into the works, into the love of those that we meet on the path of unfoldment, and for the functioning of this abode that you placed in our hands. We put into effect the law of tenfold return to each and every one. It gets freely from the heart. Amen. The love donation is right there on the table. Just walk up there and give it so we don't go past our distancing. People give messages, right? There's
It's like 7. Because we have Tanya right here.
It's 8, right?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 that can get.
When you come up and give a message, I'll tell you how many to do. And when this is the message part of our circle, when they come up here and take a look at who's on Zoom, or you can come in and doing this. And our first one that gives a message is going to be Reverend Alexandra.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Do it from here or here?
Anywhere you want. 2 messages.
Right, yeah.
Can you see everybody on the
Yes, what's this lady's name?
Tanya?
Tanya, hi. Tanya, I've got light around you. More meditation for you. You're to get into the meditation a bit more. There's a lady standing behind you there. Is this your garden? There's a lady visits your garden. So
Yes.
you know that?
Yes.
She's always there, and you like to go out there because you know she's there. Is that your mom? No,
It's Kuan Yin.
it's Kuan Yin. This lady's always with you, and my gosh, she's like, tell her, and I'm like, I'm telling you, okay? Whenever
Thank
you're in
you.
the garden, she's there, like that. So anything that bothers you or anything that comes into your head that you kind of get a bit off balance with, go to the garden. She's there for you, and go do your meditation, and she'll answer you. Okay, you will get that answer.
Thank
like
you.
that. Blessings. Thank you very much, Tanya.
Thank you.
Bill, William,
Yes.
I'm getting a message here from a gentleman, a male vibration, and he says, be patient with yourself. Be good to yourself. He said, you've been always going on and on. Hurry. Let's get it done. He says, this is a time for you and reflection for yourself. He says, I'm sending you much love. Is that your father?
Probably.
It is your father. Please know this. And this man's pointing to his chest. He's holding his chest. Did he pass with heart cancer? Who did he pass with? He's holding his chest like he had problems with his chest.
Might have been my grandfather. He had a tractor fall on him.
Okay, so this man wants to know that you need to be patient with yourself, more time for you. This is a time for nourishment for you and a time to look at that light. And again, meditation for you. You don't do this. They're telling me you're not. You don't do it when you come here. You love to do it. So you have to continue doing it because you're getting a lot of information from that. And there's a lot of love coming from the other side.
Yes, I already do meditation.
Good man. Also, there's going to be they're showing me a little change pot, a little pocket money coming to you. So there's a little bit of abundance coming to you, okay? May I leave that with you? God bless. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Alexandra. Now I call on Reverend Ray Jesse.
Can you see everybody here?
Yes.
So this is Glenn, and that's Ed, just so you know. I Dan. Come on. So it's just look. Ooh, okay. Yvonne, may I come to you, please?
Yes.
Ah. As I come into your energy, they're showing me the moon and the sun. They're saying this is like pivotal time, important time, having the best of both worlds. I feel like they're showing me like gears and a clock here, and they're saying, you know, things are starting to click. Something that has been slow is suddenly, it's like moving forward. They're showing me the number 3 as well with this. As well, 3, it's like the Holy Trinity. Whatever it is that is coming, a personal goal, I feel, you're achieving this. And they're showing me 3 is important. I feel like this is also a connection with the moon, having a connection with the moon, the stars, as well as the sun. Growth as well, expansion is coming. They're also showing me, for some reason, it's like, I see you're here in the home, but they're also showing me in nature. Again, it's like having the best of both worlds. It's, again, even though it doesn't feel like you're quite there yet, things are, it's almost like in process. They're saying trust the process, and I'll leave that with you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Reverend Angela, may I come to you, please?
Yes, thank you.
As I come into your energy, I see these beautiful scales, the color of gold, and they're saying balance. It's like balance and harmony. I see a beautiful rainbow over the word harmony. 2. For some reason, they're showing me like 2, taking not 1 step, but 2 steps forward here. And it's almost like they're showing you taking steps and taking 2 steps, but it's like it's at the same time acknowledging that you are taking 1 step at a time. Yes. there is, I feel like a light, more than a light. It's like source energy. It's like you're under the light, and it's like this light is just becoming more. I'm going to use the word powerful, but it's more expansion, and within this light as well, reaching the light. They're saying, they're showing me like little sparkles and miracles around you, and it's like you almost know that these little sparkles, it's like orbs of light, angels, light beings that are here around you. Very much, it's like you know that they're there, and even though it's like more of them coming to you and more comforting, it's like not comforting, but yes, acknowledging the confidence of allowing them to come to you, and connecting with you in a deeper awareness. And I will leave that with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Ray Jesse. Next, we will call on Reverend Tanya.
Thank you, Reverend David. And it was, I'm not sure I heard the name correctly, Reverend Jesse?
Yes, Ray Jesse.
Oh,
Hello.
what is it?
Ray Jesse?
Ray Jesse, okay. May I come to you?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. What a joy to hear you and be in your space, even across the Zoom, ethers. As you spoke just now, I had some very interesting imagery. One of which was I saw you. At first, I thought I was seeing you as a horse, a beautiful horse. And as you started, and you were running, and running and running and running. Well, you weren't running from, and you weren't running to. You were running for the fun of it. And it was, you're running for the joy of it, and you were filled with joy. And after a little while, I saw that you actually did have a place you wanted to go, and you were going there. You were running up this mountain, and when you got to the peak of the mountain, you were able to look, and you were a unicorn when you got to the top. And when you were looking around to below in the foothills and in the valley, and what you saw there were I didn't get to see what you saw, but I felt that you were seeing villages and farms and people and situations. So these were all things that relate and are metaphorical to various situations, any situation. And what I realized was there, who was running with you, who was running with you. I couldn't see them, but I knew they were there, was a legion of light workers in various forms, not necessarily all unicorns or horses, or angels, but all different kinds. You have so much support, and what you're doing is bringing them to these places, to these situations that you are witnessing and that you are seeing, whether it's from your mind's eye or with your physical eyes, but you are bringing this help and this healing to these situations and people, and I'll leave that with you.
Thank you.
One more.
You're welcome. Okay, yes, sir. All righty. Hey, Reverend Michael.
Oh,
May I
yes.
come to you?
Yes, please.
Okay. All righty. Reverend Michael, so, gosh, when I was in development at the chapel, people got the idea that I had a lot of fruits and vegetables on my mind, because that seems to be the symbology that I was getting. So what I'm getting for you, dear Michael, is a pumpkin. It's not a jack-o'-lantern. It's a real pumpkin, and it's a very healthy size. And what it is it's bringing happiness. It's bringing happiness and joy and health, and it's attracting other, not pumpkins, but other happiness, joy, and health. I mean, if you want to attract more pumpkins, that's okay too. Let me see what else is happening in the garden there for you. Okay, I'm seeing like ears of corn, still with the husks, still with the silk. And so what happens there is that it's not so hard. Don't think it's too hard. You can go ahead and take the husk off, and you can go ahead and take this silk off. It might take a little doing, but you can do it. And when you get to the to the little kernels of corn, each of them is a gem of knowledge and wisdom. And it's worth the effort. And I'll leave that with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Tanya. Our next meeting will be Christie.
Yes. I'm not gonna. Teresa, is it?
Alexandra.
I'm so sorry. So
Thank you,
sorry.
Christine.
Alexandra, may I come to
Thank
you?
you.
So, Alexandra, when I come into your presence, I sense this ancestral line of powerful women. And you carry that power, and it resonates wherever you go. It's really quite amazing and incredible. And you're handing it down. Yes, yes. And also I see that inside of you is a terrific amount of grace. And the grace leads the way always. So that as you encounter others and work with them, that grace spreads your power to them. It's always about that being shared. That power.
Thank you.
I'll leave that with you.
I'll take it. I love it.
Ernestina, Reverend Ernestina, may I come to you?
Yes, welcome.
So when I come into your presence, I'm seeing ancestors, and those ancestors are holding gifts for you. There's so many riches and treasures that they have, and they're waiting to hand them to you. They're all around you, and the exploration that will lead you to them and to accept those gifts will be fun and will be very, very rewarding. I leave that with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christie. And Reverend Alexandra, I have not talked to her. She knows what I'm talking about.
Just for it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, how many we got left? 5? 3?
2, and myself and you.
I don't know how many messages do
That's
we
open.
How many people need messages?
Oh, Ed just popped off. Okay, who needs messages?
That's it.
Ed, Glenn, Deb,
Just 2, 3.
3, and myself and you.
You've got a message.
Oh yeah, that's right. You.
Our next medium is Reverend Ernestina. One.
Yeah, that's right.
Something says Glenn, Deb, Ed, and David.
Ed, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
As I come to you today, Ed, I see it's your mom, I believe, that's around you. And I see you being very, very nurtured. And I sense that this is something that I don't know whether you've been waiting for, have always had it, but it's really prevalent around you right now. And the message that I am being told is to pay attention to just the present moments
or try to live in that at all times, which I think it's very easy for most of us not to do that because we're always thinking about things we have to do tomorrow, the next day, whatever. But if we just take time as much as we can, just a little bit of time, and look at what we are doing and where we are at, and be grateful. And something about her being around you brings out that gratefulness and that nurturing. And I leave that with you. God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Ernestina. Now I call on Reverend Angie.
David. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Reverend David, may I come to you?
Please do.
I'm getting the stars again, and the stars are now, instead of just wrapping around you, now they're like expanding and they're opening, and each one is like its own world, its own life. And we know this. You've talked about this. This is something you've been doing for centuries, and as your mastery, you know, this is you, and this is what this is, and we're ready for this. And each one is starting to expand, and everyone is ready for this very moment. What you are creating for September, this is what it really feels like. Those stars are coming closer, and the light that's shining within them, they are very strong and very healthy. So we know what that means too. And they're very happy to present themselves what they are. I leave that with you. Blessings to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it Glenn?
And Deb.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Deb, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
You know, as I come into your presence today, I see some completions here going on right now, and some concluding of experiences and everything. And so if you sort of feel kind of tired or anything, just know that's the representation of what you're completing, and be aware that there's going to be different places and different people starting ready to come into your life, because you actually have moved in awareness. And as you move in awareness, become more aware of what is in your life. The awareness that you move to has always been in your life. Now you're becoming aware of that, and it's awakening within you. And so there's going to be vitality that is going to be ignited, and you're going to be able to accomplish things quite rapidly in the next couple months. And I'll leave that with you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Glenn, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
You know, Glenn, as I come into your presence today, I feel impatience here. You know, and we want to work on the opposite of that. I am patient. There are some events coming up here that you're going to feel real comfortable with, and there's some things people are going to ask you to talk about, and you are ready to talk about them. So the next time someone asks you to do a talk or anything like this, there's only one word, and the people who come to my class know what it is. It's yes. So just go and do that. Because I feel you are ready to get out some information that you've been developing for the last 25 years. Know that, and you'll have the confidence to do it. I'll leave that with you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. We are always growing. I want to thank each of you for coming and sharing this time with us today. Christy, you get a message, Christy?
Yes.
Did you get a message?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I did.
I don't think you did. Okay.
No.
One more message.
Christy, may I come to you?
Please.
Yes. Gotta pick up all the marbles, don't we? I used to tell people when they come to the seminar, I give them a bag of marbles, and I said, when you lose them all, you're going to be ordained. As I come into your presence today, I see that a symbol of development here that is very pleasant and very comforting for you. And I feel that the comfort is coming from some concepts that you've been putting together, I would say, for the last 10 or 15 years. And there's more to those concepts than what you have observed so far and lived. And so the patience that's going on with this is just know that you're becoming more pleasant with yourself. And as you become more pleasant with yourself, then the people that you meet will be more pleasant with you, and you'll get much more accomplished with that. I leave that with you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. I want to thank you for coming and sharing this time with us today, especially those who are here and present, and also the ones that are on Zoom. You'll be amazed at the benefit that this has with us. So now we're going to sing Let There Be Love.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Love on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be love on earth, love that goes hand to thee. With God as our glory, united all of me. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let love begin with me. Let this be our home now. With every step I take, let this be my song of love. Today, each moment, each moment, with love eternally. Let there be love on earth, and let it begin with me.
Mother, Father, God, we do give thanks for sharing each other's presence here today. And as we move on our path, let us extend the love and the protection that's in and around and through each and every one to that path, so the highest and best will manifest in our lives. When we meet those on our path, let us extend the love that's so abundant. We give thanks. Amen.
Amen.
I want to remind everyone that we still have social distance, and so we cannot get close to each other when we leave.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Reverend Angie. Thank you, Reverend
Thank you.
David, Reverend Michael, everybody. Thanks for coming, Glenn.
Oh, thanks.
We got a couple of we're the New Mexico. You're welcome, Jesse. Have a great week.
To everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Where we already.
Nice seeing all of you.
From your ancestors. Wonderful.
Bye, Angie.
This,
Love you guys.
that's almost a birthright, and then the inheritance is what you are dealing with when you come into the world. So the difference between your birthright and inheritance and getting to know those two things is really helpful. And no, actually, yeah, perfect, yeah. So birthright.
Go down. Right there. Right there. Do it again. Go down. There. Now hit that.
Anyway,
Right there.
it doesn't like my left hand.